Hi, John Hunter with REL Acoustics here. I'm our lead designer, and I'm here to take you through the latest iteration of the Series S. So we had some pretty lofty goals for these. The original ones won so many awards on 3 different continents that we had to really take a deep, hard look at ourselves to figure out how we were going to make it a lot better. In the end, we decided that we needed to make the home theater 0.1 LFE performance just much stronger than it had been on the original S's. And we also wanted to take a stab at improving the high-end 2-channel performance. To that end, what we wound up doing was going to an 800-watt, 12-inch active driver combination with a passive 12 that we had to completely redesign to keep up with the new driver. And the combination is magical. You've got something that is incredibly linear below 30 Hertz. We're about 10 dB louder than the outgoing S's. We've got power to burn, which you really need when you're doing big systems, when you're doing big theater. You need massive amounts of power to cope with that. So we've got an amplifier that's notionally rated at 1,000 watts. We sleeve it down to about 800 to keep it all together, but this thing plays incredibly loud. When we say 800 watts, we mean 800 watts for 24 continuous hours. It's an insane standard, but we want to make sure these drivers will really hold up out there in the real world. In order to get them to not literally physically explode from the air pressure that's generated by that much power, we had to reinforce the back of the cone. So we're using an ultra lightweight carbon fiber girdle back there that stiffens, quiets, and literally keeps the driver together. That entire assembly on the back weighs less than a single sheet of paper, and yet it stiffens and quiets at about 50%. The Series amplifier on the 812 required a massive upgrade, so we've stepped up to a 1,000-watt amplifier that we actually do a very gentle job of limiting to about 800 plus. We actually have an intelligent limiter that lets it get up to 1,000 watts at times. What we've got here are inputs that are separate for both theater and for high-end, high-level 2-channel work. So if you're new to REL, you see a whole bunch of stuff, you're like, what are we looking at here? We have 2 speak-on inputs and outputs. This allows for future stackability if you want to take your stereo pair and actually increase it up to 3 apiece. So we've got an input for this, that's high level. We've also got, and this is a new thing for this generation, we've got balanced XLR 0.1 LFE inputs. This allows you to come off your theater processor balanced. These may be a good 30-40 feet away, and the balance lets you drive it a lot more successfully. And then once we move over here, you'll see we've got a full suite of controls. We have the 0.1 LFE gain control, which is completely separate from the high level or low level input. What this means is you can actually have both theater and 2-channel done perfectly in the same system. The 0.1 LFE, of course, are very loud special effects for theater. These controls are for both gain and for crossover function, and we've got new filters in here that are the best we've ever done in these mid-prices. We've got something that basically gently elevates and extends and flattens out the extremely low bass, so much so that we've got almost twice as much real raw output down at 20 Hertz as we did with the old ones. And we've also got a new portion of it. These filters are generically referred to in-house as our perfect filters that does a beautiful job of extending the high frequency content way up into the upper mid-range and high frequencies. You'll hear air in halls you've never heard before. And because we're REL, we do really superlative wireless. So the wireless function on these allows you to send completely uncompressed 5.8 gig, which is a standard that was previously reserved only for the military. And this is a brand new system we'll be bringing out shortly after the units themselves launch. They're fantastic. They send very fast, very uncompressed bass, about 50 to 60 feet. I think we actually only qualify for 35 feet internally because we're kind of picky, but literally we've shot these things 60, 65 feet in our labs. We're really known for these beautiful cabinets that we supply. This one, like the previous ones, has no fewer than 12 coats of hand-sanded and hand-polished lacquer. Just absolutely beautiful, not just for the shininess of it, but take a look at the depth we managed to get in our paint too. Really flat, straight cabinets. All the prep work is fantastic. What we got here is a design that actually is larger but appears to be smaller. It's more compact looking from the front. If you were to stand them up side by side, the previous generation with this generation, it immediately looks crisper and more modern. And what we've done in order to get just a little bit more cabinet volume, which is what allows it to have more extension and bigger bass, is we've actually extended the depth of this cabinet by just a little bit more. The rails, which are really how we wind up with this cabinet cab forward look, cabinet forward, is something that allows us to have a lot of surface area, a lot of stability, which we'll need because these are actually stackable cabinets. For the first time, our mid-range is available with the same accoutrements that allow us to stack up to 3 high per side, just like our reference products do. The rails are actually about 3/4 of the depth of the piece, and all the hardware is upgraded on these pieces. When you look at these, we've got these massive cast stainless steel handles on the side. You'll be able to actually easily pick these up and move them about. They're really functional, but really beautiful. So in conclusion, what we've done on these new S's is we made them more beautiful, actually larger, while appearing to be more compact, far more powerful. The 0.1 LFE performance is off the hook now. The high level and low level, high quality 2-channel inputs have been improved beyond description. We've got a system we call perfect filters that both at the same time extends out the extreme bottom end and actually does a better job of connecting up into the upper mid-range and high frequencies of your main speakers in such a way that it just opens up and creates beautiful air and detail and definition in the high frequencies that we've never been able to accomplish in this price range or this size range before.